everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Leslie. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I am doing something different to what I usually do, and I am not going to be scrapping a photo. I am going to be scrapping a poem that my son wrote for school. He's 9 years old, and it's about a fox, and I am going to be paper piecing together a fox, and Lucy is also joining us today, being very joyful in the background. So I try to leave as much of the process of me paper piecing this fox together in the video. That's why it's a bit of a longer video. I think it's 18 minutes, so it is a bit longer, but if you stick to the end, you'll see how this turned out in the end. And so the trick with paper piecing is just to be very patient with yourself. It's not like a silhouette piece that you can put together, that everything is already done for you. And what I usually do is I draw the entire image in its entirety and as a finished product onto a piece of cardstock, and this is textured white cardstock, and I draw it onto the textured white cardstock as if this is what it's going to look like. So and the reason why I do textured white cardstock is because I use this as the backing, and if there's any white that is going to be seen as part of the image, it's going to be the white of this textured white cardstock. So I'm just going to be going through my whimsical collection from Paige Evans, and I'm going to be using that today. I haven't made a layout with that in a while, and I have been burning to do some paper piecing. In my previous video I had been sort of really wanting to do something with backing a cut file, and today I was thinking to myself, how about paper piecing again? And I've done this quite a few times before. I do have other videos of me paper piecing some bits and bobs. I've done some that I haven't videoed and shown you guys, but I've decided, let me share my fox with you today. So if you struggle to come up with an image for something you want to paper piece, just type into Google the image, whichever image you want to paper piece. Even if it's like a little rabbit, just type in animated rabbit or vector rabbit or something like that, and you'll come up with something, and there'll be quite a lot in the search in your window that you can go along with. Just remember to change it. You know, you want to be as original as possible, and if you're going to copy someone, just give them some credit or change it to your liking, so that it's not a complete and utter copy. I mean, we are all artists, and you want to keep your things as original as possible. So, and that is what I did with this. I googled the little word animated fox, or fox animated or something. I think if you do fox animation, you'll come up with a little, like a GIF or something. But I just googled this, and this was probably one of the first images that came up, and it looks very similar to the original image, but I did change it quite a lot. I think that the fact that the fox is sort of jumping, that makes it similar to the original image, and but I've changed quite a lot in it, and in its tail, and so on. And so, you know, we want to keep our things looking as original as possible. And you'll see that I'm using a putty rubber, and this is a putty eraser, and that's the easiest for me to, you know, especially if I use textured white cardstock or any textured cardstock, to get the pencil marks out of the little textured bits, the grooves, and so that's what I use. And I constantly go back and forth to make sure that my pieces fit perfectly. And it's a guessing game, you know. As you see there, I trace the basic outline of what the shape of the face, and then I go and cut it just a little bit like a millimeter smaller than the outline, because I want that white outline in the end around the box. And that's just an animation trick. You sort of have the Lucy is having fun with my gelatos. You keep the top piece of paper in between your forefinger and your middle finger, and you keep on lifting it up off the bottom animation to see if you have the right spacing done. And yeah, as you see, I keep on going back to my original little drawing, and it takes a lot of patience, and don't try and be too finicky and too perfectionist, and also don't do things that are too much in too much detail. Just again, if you hear big noises, it's Lucy taking apart my Razcog. So she's playing with my brush pencils right now. It was gelatos earlier on, but clearly they have not kept her interest. Now she's playing with my brush pencils. But anyway, so yeah, Lucy started walking about 2 weeks ago, but she's still in the 2 or 3 steps, and then she falls on her bum, and then she waits for everybody to clap before she gets up and does it again. So it's really cute. She has noticed the fact that if you get attention, she likes the attention. So you're supposed to clap for her quite a lot, and then she'll stand up, and then she'll walk another 3 or 4 steps, and boom, she'll fall on her bum, and she'll sit there in expectation of your big clap. So that is really cute. So yeah, so she's been sort of cruising around my craft room and having a fun time. So anyway, I don't have much else to say about this fox really. It took a while to do. I think this is sped up 8 times or 6 times. So it did take me quite a while to get my little fox done, and I forget how nice it is and how much fun it is. There you go, to do some paper piecing, and I think I will be doing it a lot more in the next couple of months or next couple of videos I have. Yes, Lucy. Yes, Lucy. Yes. Yes. Ja. Wat doen jy? Yes. So she's having a big conversation with me. Yeah. So that conversation has ended. Lucy has fallen asleep again, so she will not be joining us for the rest of the voiceover. That was really cute. I love recording how she talks and her little giggles and her words that she speaks. It's really cute. I hope that didn't irritate you or bothered you in any way. It didn't bother me in any case. So I'm going to be sticking down the just the bits of the fox that I've cut out, and I'm just going to be neatening up the edges of that fox's body a little bit. And because this is not a die cut or a cut file from a silhouette machine, there are some flaws in it, and you can see where I didn't cut a perfect straight line, or where the angle is a bit different to what it's supposed to be, and so on. But it works out in the end, and I think I really like what I did, and it turned out really cute. And the poem that I'm going to be scrapping is a poem that my son wrote for his homework, and I will read it in a little bit. I'm going to type it up on my We Are Memory Keepers typecast, just to give it some extra a vintage feel to it. I did debate on whether I should scrap the paper that he actually wrote the poem on, and he said no. So I did type it up on my typecast, and I stuck the paper that he wrote the poem on the back of the layout, so that for future reference, if we want to see what his handwriting looked like, we can just turn the layout around and it'll still be there. He was very proud of it, I have to say, and he used a lot of cute words, and the way he structured the poem was pretty cute. So yes, this is quite a boring process to watch, I have to admit now, watching it, and so I could have probably sped it up a little bit more. I should have. But it is what it is now. I'm not going to redo the edit. I mean, it takes forever to edit one of these videos, and so I'm just making the little paws of the fox, just cutting it out of some plain black cardstock I have in my stash, and I've got this massive container full of these little offcuts of colored cardstock, and every once in a while I can go in there and take a piece and do some paper piecing with it. Otherwise it just sits underneath my desk and sits there and waits for me to use it. So as I said, I'm going to be stitching the fox. I'm not going to be showing you everything of how I stitched it. It did take quite a while. This fox took me about a day to make. So and there you go, and I'm just going to be adding a little white dot on his nose just to add some sparkle. I showed you there that I fussy cut some of these beautiful flowers out from that sheet of the massive flowers from the collection, and I also fussy cut out some of the butterflies from that sheet with all the butterflies on. So I sort of wanted the effect that the fox was jumping over the flowers, because in a part of the poem it talks about how the fox sort of plays, and he can't wait to get back to the bay where he plays. So it's really cute. So it was like a frolicking fox. That's the idea that I was going for here. And it sort of reminds me a lot of my son. My son has strawberry blonde hair. In the sun, his hair looks, when he stands in the sun, his hair looks red. So this is such a sort of so much like his personality. He's always everywhere, and he sticks his nose in everything, and he pushes all the buttons. If we are at a place and there's a radio, he will go push all the buttons. If we are at a restaurant, he will go see what everybody's doing. I mean, the one of the flights we took back to South Africa for a holiday, my son would just disappear in the aeroplane, and we knew he couldn't go far, obviously, and we knew nothing could really happen to him. It's an aeroplane. There's only so much he can do and where he can go. And he had chatted up all the ladies, the cabin crew, and they were giving him ice cream and crisps and sweeties, and everybody knew his name. And he had organized himself a group of ladies totally loving him, and that was really cute. And as we left the plane that day, everybody was waving at him and saying goodbye, Andre, and it was really cute. So his personality is just, you know, he makes sure that you know that he's there, and he's always very inquisitive, and very inquisitive. You can't you know, if he asks you a question, you can't just say, oh, I don't know, or you can't give him the answer because, or something like that. You have to give him the scientific explanation of things. Then he will keep quiet, and then he will be satisfied with your answer. Otherwise, he just keeps on asking you the question. For instance, he asked me, why is the sky blue? And I don't know, years and years ago he asked me that. And, you know, I didn't want to get back into it because it's, you know, it's a very long story. And in the end, I had to tell him about how the sun reflects off the atmosphere and the water particles in the air. And And only after that spiel did he stop asking me the question. And he was like 4 or 5, so there's no way he was understanding what was going on there. So getting back to the layout, you'll see that I did a couple of test runs of typing this poem out and getting the spacing right, and I had to change my ribbon around during one of the typings, and then the ribbon went squonky and then it smudged everything. So this machine is I mean, it is a cranky machine, and it's definitely not something you know that you can just sit down and do quickly. You know, you have to. It takes a while to do whatever you want to do, and especially if you make a typo, you can't just go and erase it. You've got to go back and type over it, and I suppose that's the whimsical effect that it gives, the old school effect, and I like the way that made this layout feel. So this is basically it for this layout. I do sprinkle some blue, some what's the color called? I think it's called Ocean. Some blue Heidi Swap color shine, and put some teeny weeny tiny clouds. I've got a cloud punch, and I punched some clouds out just to put there behind the fox. And so sprinkle my Heidi Swap color shine, and that is going to be it for this layout. I really love reading your comments. I read every single one of your comments, and if I don't reply, I usually leave a like mark because I read all of your comments, and I love the encouraging comments and everything. I haven't received a negative comment yet, and it really means a lot to me. I think if I did receive a negative comment, my poor little heart will take a while. But I am putting myself out there, so it is inevitable that one day I will receive something negative, and it's fine. I mean, I will. There he is. There's my son. He's just checking out if if this carries away his approval. And he really liked it. He liked the fox, and he wasn't bothered about the flowers. He knew that the fox was playing in the meadows and things. So this is it. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe, and I would love to hear from you in the comments. And hit the bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. And that is it for this week. Bye bye.